All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Morning Pass Rush Show, episode 1. Pretty cool and catchy name. Thank you, Jalen, for that recommendation. It sounds really good. Rolls right off the tongue.
No problem, man. No problem.
All right, so we got Jalen, obviously, since you just heard him, the New York Jets owner. We also have Isaiah in the building, Indianapolis Colts owner.
Yo, gang.
So every intro, yo, gang. And the other guy's always like, "What's up, guys?" So we got make sure you're keeping your eyes on the road. We don't want to hear anything bad out there.
I'm not driving.
Oh god, this guy. He's in the back seat just chilling.
Front seat. Front seat. Front seat.
Gotta
Make it
have
clear, Jalen. Front
got,
seat.
gotta have the shoddy. All right, guys. So we're trying out these new shows. They're gonna be live every week. So when we advance, we're obviously gonna cram it in. We got 2 days to advance, so we're gonna try to do a morning show, a night show, and then that way we can cram it up. Obviously we're gonna be talking about different things. On this episode, though, we're gonna be talking about the AFC East and the NFC East. What the teams have, how their cap issues look, what they can do to get better, and yeah, just basically sharing some type of knowledge to see if they need that knowledge to possibly take the next step in the season and the seasons coming. What's your guys' thoughts on the next 4 shows coming up in the next 4 days?
I think this is a fire idea. I think this just shows how hard you work to make this a better league, to make this a better experience. And I'm excited, honestly.
Bro, we
I'm
talk
honestly excited, and I think it's great, man. It's fun doing these shows, and it's fun to just get content out, especially on a long break.
bro, tell me about it, man. I'm kind of bored. I'm like, man, no games?
Bro, I was literally searching for leagues. I'm like, bro, there's literally nothing to do. But it's so boring.
So boring indeed. All right, guys, so let's get you off your behinds, get you glued onto this TV show. Basically, we're gonna see how many views we get, what the interactions look like in the chat, and this will hopefully persuade us to keep doing this week in, week out. Obviously, this is gonna be the first episode, so we're not thinking too much activity on the first one. But once you take a break from your daily routine, get home, turn on the pod or the YouTubes, and hit the watch videos. Hopefully, we get the views then. But without further ado, here we go. Let's get the animation up and rolling. Oh snap! We got the football rotating live on screen. Know about that. All right, so we're gonna kick it off with the AFC side of things. 'Cause supposedly the AFC is the best side. Um, we'll see. But we got the AFC East, and we're gonna kick it off with the Jets. Jets having a 92 record so far this season. We talked about it yesterday's episode. Broke down all the games. If you guys didn't catch that, make sure you guys check the podcast library. We have it all there. This one will be there as well. Pretty much every single show that we have will be in that library. So all you gotta do is click that library, and it'll be fully updated. Every episode that we do, so you can keep track and see what you watched, what you didn't watch, and yep, making it easier for you guys to navigate the content. So without further ado, Isaiah, you are the GM for the Jets. You're looking at your team, looking at your record, looking at the pieces that you lost, pieces that you traded. Give us your GM mentality on what the Jets need to do, will do, must do to get the salary cap, to get the players, to get the ring. Take us away. Let's see what you think about every day, every night.
All right, so let's just start from the beginning before the season even started. Um, Coming off a season where it was obviously Aaron Rodgers' last season, MPJ had a few starts. He threw 4 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, so that was kind of worrisome. So you had to question as the not only as the coach but as the GM, like, do you have the franchise quarterback? Um, so I guess that makes this season kind of questionable. I don't think we would be expecting a 9-2 start. Probably at least above 500. That would probably be my goal to start the season. So now that we're 9-2, I think that's obviously a crazy good success, especially in the AFC. Um, like we saw last season, literally like 3 losses has you at the bottom of the AFC standing. So the Jets being on top of the AFC is very impressive. Um, yeah, obviously are happy with MPJ, 19 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. Um, I think he's shown that he's a franchise quarterback. Obviously, it's only one season, um, but I'm very impressed with my quarterback. For the rushing, I think this is the best running back duo in the league, and I'm obviously a little biased, me being the GM at this point, but Brees Hall and Corum is honestly crazy. Brees Hall is obviously Brees Hall, but what Corum is doing, and it's crazy because it's like every single time I see Corum run the ball, he's doing something special. So I love what I have in the running back area. Receiving, I like the receiving core, and I think which makes it even better is that Miko Hardman was injured. So when he comes back, this offense is going to go even crazier. Um, Loveland, probably the biggest steal in the draft. Let me see when he was drafted. He was drafted in the 3rd round. Um, we were talking about it yesterday. He might be the best tight end in the league. The way he's utilized in the Jets offense, always finds a way to get open. I'm proud of my tight end. So far, I'm proud of my quarterback, my running back, and my receiving core. So on the offensive line, I think look, the offensive line is actually pretty good. I think that's very important when you have a rookie quarterback. Well, not a rookie quarterback, but a quarterback that's. This is basically, I would say, this is his real season because last season he didn't play that much. So he's still learning the offense. Obviously he's working hard in the offseason to learn the plays, but you need an offensive line to protect him. His reading might be a little slow as he learns the offense. So they have pretty good protection. Um, so yeah, I mean, offensively, I'm very proud of my team. I think this, like I said many times, I think this is one of the best offenses in the league. But now we have to go to the defensive side. So the defensive line, last season is really just Quentin Williams, in my opinion. Him alone can do damage, but let me look. Will McDonald, he's having a breakout season this year, showing that he could be a superstar. Um, and John Franklin Myers, I mean, we already know what he can do. The problem here is that he is on an expiring contract. So you have to wonder the Jets realized that they needed someone else traded for Jalen Johnson, who was a former Bear. Uh, Many people were questioning why they weren't making moves, why they weren't pulling the trigger to find another cornerback to be alongside one of the best cornerbacks in the league, Sauce Gardner. They pulled that trigger. And if you look at their other cornerbacks, they do have some speed. So, I mean, I'm not sure how their zone coverage, how their main coverage is, but speed can definitely help a lot. Same with their safeties. I think their safeties are a little bit old. Well, some of them. So you have to wonder maybe you have to go get something in the draft. Um, but I'm actually really happy with the secondary. I just think that it goes to the coaching. The defense actually looks good. Probably is an underrated defense on paper. I actually wasn't expecting to see this. Um, but this is a defense that allows is fifth in defensive points. But they are 20th in allowed yards, so sort of a bend but don't break defense. I mean, but overall, I'm as a GM, I'm pretty happy with my team. Moving forward, I would say just find another piece for the D tackle because I doubt that you're re-signing Franklin Myers. Um, and if you could add another, maybe draft another cornerback, I think that would be really deadly. You already have a defensive line that's progressing. Get another cornerback to go alongside Gardner and Jalen Johnson. I mean, that's incredible. So you have an offense that can score whenever it wants, and a defense that surely would clamp a lot of teams in the league. Um, you have a great team. You're already 9-2 without that. So with that, I think top 3 team in the league in the AFC. The NFC is starting to do their thing, so I can't say it in the league, but surely the AFC.
Okay, good breakdown. On my end, if I'm the GM here, my first thing that I'm looking at is age and available cap room. The Jets right now have 35.89 bill available to spend. My team is sitting at 89 overall. That's amazing and everything, but my roster, 45% of my roster is held with players over the age of 25, 26. So at this point, it's either win now or have a rough last quarter of the seasons as we approach the new Madden cycle. The moves that the Jets made this year opened up a lot of eyes. Had the opportunity to go get some key players that they wanted, but they were being stingy with the pockets. Obviously, 35.89 mil available. One of the reasons why. But at the very end, pulled the trigger, got Jalen Johnson from Chicago. I think that right there was one of the biggest wins for New York, for the New York Jets football team. Because if we break it down, we have at quarterback, we're sitting with Tua, Michael, and Zach Wilson. Those 3 quarterbacks alone are making a lot of money. So there's no reason why you have an 85 overall backup, a 77 overall backup, while you're paying MPJ be your starter. So right there, that's one of the biggest key issues of why your salary cap is where it's at. Key moves that should have been made before the trade deadline was move Tua. Not sure why we signed Tua, but hey, mistakes happen. 27 years old, looked kind of cool to have on the roster, but at the end, it kind of backfired because nobody wanted him. So now we got money tied up on Tua. Running backs, man, that running back core, like you said, young as hell. 24, 24, and 25. 2 running backs in Brees Hall and Blake Corum sitting as superstar. Both of them 93 and 94 speed respectively. Blake with the 96 acceleration. So right there you have potential trade bait there. You can get a good first, second, third round pick for either running back if you want to part ways and open up your salary cap even more. I know the NFL now relies on a 2-headed monster like they once did back in the days when they had Mike Allstott and Warrick Dunn for Tampa. They also had what's it called? Ezekiel and what was the other running back? Greek. The Cowboys. Pollard. So I think that's the kind of mindset that the Jets ownership is looking at. But at the same time, if you're trying to alleviate funds for your team, having an 83 and a 92 overall running back doesn't make sense dollar wise. I know it looks good on paper and all, but at some point you got to cut ties with one of them. Fullbacks and tight ends. There's no fullbacks on the roster, so that's awesome. And the Jets pretty much got the face of the franchise for tight ends for the rest of the Madden cycle, in my opinion. Colston Loveland, what a steal in the draft pick. Guy is 20 years old, can't even buy alcohol. Sitting at 6'5" with 86 speed. His catching is at 78, but obviously he's a rookie, so that's gonna get worked up. But you do have a 229-year-old tight ends, Dalton Schultz and Mike Gesicki. Both of them potentially great trade bait as well. Like I said, there's no reason why you should have three tight ends with 82 overalls and a 78. Your main go-to guy is Colston, fine and dandy. He's got the first slot. Okay, cool. You got him for the next 40 years if you want. He'll be out there playing at 60 years old, like falling out. Now comes the point where you got to make a decision: Schultz or Gesicki. Which one is going to cost you the least amount? But which one can you utilize for the run block protection that you need? Because obviously those two are not going to be used for passing routes. So now you have to go and look at the impact block, run block, and by looking at it, Schultz has a better run block. So my automatic pick would be Schultz, stays with the team. Gesicki on the trade market. You get some good picks. There's a lot of teams out there that are hurting on tight end. Going to the wide receivers, bro. We are kind of old in that category. We have Hartman Jr. sitting at 27 years old, 96 speed, and the regression got put back to standards. So he's going to be an amazing receiver, but injuries, things you got to look out for. He was injured already this year. What's to say that next season, or even at the end of the season when we need him the most, some freak injury doesn't happen? So we got Marvin Mims Jr. at 23 years old, already a star dove. We have Michael Thomas that got picked up because Hartman got injured at 32 years old. Hey, the dinosaur can still catch, right? So why not? We need possessions. But you have Xavier Gibson on the team that's 24 years old, 75 overall. Can easily be put in training camps every single week, basically up his stats. Not sure if the Jets are doing that or not, but that will be a key piece that I'm gonna work around. He's 5'10", same height as Mecole, not as fast, but he's got 92 speed, 94 excel. That would be a player that I would develop. And then you have a 74 overall Danny Gray, normal development, 6 foot, 95 speed, 93 excel. That could also be a dangerous weapon to develop. So the receiving core, I see them taking a receiver in the first 3 to 4 rounds, just for the simple fact that they need more help out there. Overall wise, 93, 84, 81, 81 seems good on paper, but when you start factoring in the age, the money that they're making, hey man, I can't pay Michael Thomas the amount that he wants for 32 years old. I mean, he clutched it out for us so far this year when Mecole was out with the injury. But hey, I'd rather give those reps to a younger person that I can develop for the future, as opposed to bringing somebody in that's already basically at the end of the career. So receiving core is where I would attack at the draft this year. Offensive linemen, we're sitting at 26, 26, 24, 27, and 24 in age. So they're right at their prime right now. So the players that we have, perfect at the line. Obviously, we want to pick up maybe 1 or 2 linemen in the late rounds, see if we strike gold or potential gold. Defensive linemen, like you said earlier, Franklin Myers being 28 years old, last year of his contract. That's a piece that I would have moved, because they do play a lot of 3-4 defense. So there's no reason why there should be two D tackles with that high overall. And this is just me managing the money wise. Like player wise, cool, talent is awesome. This is why I'm at 89 overall as a team. But overall as a team and money wise, they don't always combine. So with Franklin Myers, that would have been a piece that I would have moved easily for a second round pick, potentially even a late first rounder. So this offseason, he's either gonna have the opportunity to re-sign him or let him go, where he could have made some acquisitions at draft picks for that player that he's gonna lose. The left end, Will McDonald, 26 years old. He's perfectly set there. His right end, Jalen Walker, 81 overall, 21 years old, perfectly set there. His backups, he's got a 30-year-old Carl Lawson at right end. Another right end at 79. A left end, Sam Williams at 76. And another D tackle, Caleb Carr, 22 years old. That would be the player that I would have started developing and traded Franklin Myers, see how he would grow in the team scheme. And like I said, I talk about salary cap all the time. That's why you play this game is to basically build your team, but at the same time not screw your salary cap over. So there's a lot of moves that they could make still. Some players are expiring contracts, so we'll see what plays out at the end of the season. Linebacking core, Dre Greenlaw, one of the best trades that he made. 87 overall, but 28 years old. 84 speed, 87 acceleration. I don't see that speed going down anytime soon. We've got about maybe 3 more years with that speed and acceleration based off his gameplay. Right outside linebacker Jordan Brooks. He's an 82 overall, 27-year-old, 87 speed. That might be a piece that I'm trying to move. At 27, I can still get a second round pick for him. And I can develop somebody that I draft in the first 3 rounds, depending my draft pick situation. Von Bell, another good player, but 30 years old, 81 overall. So linebacking core, we're kind of screwed on because now we got age that we're fighting against, and with age comes higher salaries. So these players are making a lot of money at the linebacking core with the age over 26 years old. Now, obviously, they're producing, but at what point do you start developing for the future? Now, they do have Ernest Johnson sitting there with an 82 speed, 88 acceleration that can easily get bumped up. We have Alexander McDonald, middle linebacker, 70 overall, 22 years old, 84 speed, 91 acceleration. So when you're looking at those speed and acceleration, I mean, that's the hardest thing to upgrade in Madden. And once you have that speed there, I mean, you want to try to build those guys up fast before they hit the age of 24, 25 when it starts getting harder and harder. So I'm looking to see Jordan Brooks possibly move this offseason. Von Bell, there might still be a market for him. And that'll open up 2 slots that you can put Alexander McDonald in, and also Zaire Barnes sitting with 88 speed, 92 excel, and he's only 25. So we have the backups here that can easily take over in that linebacking core. Secondary, this is where we're having the biggest issue. Besides Sauce and Jalen and Derek Forrest, we got DJ Reed, 83 overall, 28 years old. Jordan Whitehead, 28 years old, 82 overall. Old ass grandpa Adrian Amos started off his career with the Bears. He's 80 overall, 32 years old. Safety. You have Avante Maddox, cornerback, 79 years old, or 79 overall, 29 years old. And you're also sitting Quinyon Mitchell, 23 years old, 89 speed, 92 excel. You're sitting Tyler Nubin, safety, 6'2", 24 years old. with 89 speed, 90 XL. And then you have, those are the two key pieces that you're sitting on. So like I said, everybody gets the option to put players in the training camp so that every week they can progress. Biggest two pieces that you always put on there: tight end, receiver, and cornerback. Those are the three slots that you progress the quickest in those training camps. So I expect the Jets to do something with these young bucks that they have on the team, whether it be the free safety, the cornerback that's 23 or 24. Those two can progress really quick and possibly even surprise and take DJ Reed's spot. Jalen Johnson could serve as a safety. He's fully equipped for that role too. So there's a lot of playroom that they can do here. If they want to go the first few rounds cornerback instead of receiver, instead of linebacker, they go cornerback, defensive back, safety. Kicker wise, they're sitting pretty. But that's my breakdown, and the breakdowns that I do is all based on salary cap, age, and overall. That's just my mentality on Madden, is because that's what I focus on in real life. In the job that I did was basically, how do I maintain the same overall but pay less. So that's my take on the New York Jets. But the New York Jets, they are looking really good for this season and for next season. But after that, I am not 100% sure where they will stand with the age, like we mentioned. There's a lot of ifs and ends and buts. So now we'll give it up to the actual GM of this football team.
First of all, I don't believe my. I mean, yeah, we have some old players, like you said, Jordan Brooks. But in my opinion, my roster isn't that old. McCole Hardman he had one injury in 3 years, so I'm not too worried about that. Even though it took him some time to get back. When it comes to the corners, we have been playing Nubin and Malachi Moore. They've been our starting safeties this year. Whitehead doesn't really play as much as he did in year one and year two. We picked up Nubin, I think, in the after the draft. I think he was undrafted free agent, something like that. Offensively, I love the way MPJ's been playing. Isaiah said the stats earlier. He learned pretty well from Aaron, and he's been playing great this season. Can't ask nothing more. 9-2 from a guy who, if you think about it, it's really his rookie season, as he only played like a game or two last year. And the running back core, I love my running backs, especially with maybe we'll trade one, maybe we won't, because I kind of like having that, especially with Brees having had a game where he got injured a lot in that one game. So it's kind of good to have Corum back there and have another elite option to go to. My receivers, I just said it earlier. We got Hardman, got Garrett Wilson. He's probably one of the best receivers in the league. I would like to utilize him a little more, but teams respect him, so it's hard to get him the ball, I will say. So that's a hard thing, but Loveland, what more can I say about him? He's someone I'm looking forward to having for years to come and become a great tight end. As he's having a great first season. He's on pace to hit 1,000 yards. And then I love my O-line. O-line, it's great. Everyone, like you said, everyone's in their prime, and everyone they give MPJ a lot of time, good protection every game. So I always thank them after the game for holding up. If I'm being honest, there's one thing I do want to try and attack in the draft, and that'll probably be getting another DT. I might let Franklin Myers walk, and save some money for future years. And I think that's really it. I mean, if you guys got any questions for me, I'll answer them.
So if your mindset was to trade or possibly not resign him, why weren't you pushing his name out there?
I use him a lot for depth, and I like to. Over the last few games, I don't know if anyone's been watching, but I changed my D line up a little bit every couple plays, because of fatigue. So with him not being in there, and Quinnen gets tired a lot because Quinnen gets most of the snaps. I love to either put him out as my rush right end or my rush left end, and he gets a lot. He's a tackle for lost monster, as I like to call him. He's a tackle for lost monster, and he's been a big player for my team for the last few seasons, and it's hard to replace. It's hard to replace that production with someone in their first year. So I kept him just for his production to help me, go through this season.
Okay. Isaiah, you got anything for him?
No, I don't have any questions. But I like what you're doing in New York. Obviously, this is just what we would do as the GM, so it might sound like we're being a little bit negative, but overall, I love what you're doing in New York.
Appreciate it.
Go Jets.
Stop it.
All right, so the next team we're about to break down. Second.
Buffalo. Buffalo's number 2.
Yep, Buffalo sitting at 4-6. Isaiah, the floor is yours.
All right, so let me look real quick. All right, so as a GM to start the season, as in like before the season, I mean since 2020 when they went to the conference championship against the Chiefs, I think we all realized that, and then they got Stephon Diggs. I think we all thought that they would be in a Super Bowl, uh, at least be in a Super Bowl, but have a chance at winning the Super Bowl. But it has not been that way. Honestly, they keep choking. 2 years ago, Stephon Diggs was the MVP. Josh Allen played terribly. Last year, they sneaked into the playoffs, but then again, Josh Allen didn't play so well. So I think the story has been Josh Allen. Well, at least for the past 3 seasons, it's been Josh Allen. I mean, so to start the season, I'm just hoping that Josh Allen took accountability and put it on himself to make sure that this team can reach what we all thought they could be. So as a GM, I was expecting them to win a lot of games this year. Really make their mark on top of the AFC. Maybe not be a 1 or a 2 seed, but definitely be in that 3, 4, 5 area. I would expect them to win a division this year. It's been all Jets. I mean, but you have a quarterback. The Jets have a quarterback who was a rookie last year and didn't get a lot of snaps. So I mean, I'm expecting us to win the division easy. Patriots have not played super well. Dolphins are in a sort of a rebuild. So I mean, a guaranteed playoff spot because I expect to win a division. But then again, looking at this roster, I would also expect us to make a couple moves. So while we're still contending, still get maybe some draft picks or some young pieces. That would probably be my goal for this season. But as for this season has been, in my opinion, a disappointment. 4-6. I mean, if you look at the division standings, it looks like we don't even have a chance to even compete for the division, let alone the AFC. We know how it is. 6 losses already. I mean, you can kind of kiss your playoff chances goodbye, depending on who we're playing the rest of the season. And looking at that, I see a couple losses right there. So the season is basically over. I mean, in my opinion. So then it looks like we went wrong. So where have we went wrong? I think it's Josh Allen. I mean, let's look at these stats. Since 2023, 51 touchdowns, 48 interceptions. I remember during that time we were talking about him possibly doing a 50 for 50. It's all fun and giggles until you realize that he's getting paid 114 mil with a bonus of 146 mil. 2024, 31 touchdowns, 26 interceptions. This season so far, 23 touchdowns, 22 interceptions. So it's like a cycle of we're just average. We want to throw as many picks as we throw touchdowns. And that's not okay. Especially as the quarterback getting paid that much. Look. As far as running backs, James Cook, I think that he's a great running back. This season, I don't think he's been getting the ball that much. I mean, when this head coach first came, he was content with running the ball, playing defense, mixing in some play action. If you remember, Stephon Diggs wasn't getting the ball that much, but they were winning. James Cook is on he's going to be a free agent this year. So not only do you have to ask, are you going to pay him, but does he really want to come back? In my opinion, James Cook, look at the roster, look at the contracts. Unless you're paying me a ton of money, I'm not coming back. So I think you have to clean that up. They did get a rookie running back, but let me look at these stats. I mean, probably not getting that many touches, but hopefully he can be somebody. But I don't expect him to be 6th round draft pick. So maybe we have to find a running back. Wide receivers, I like what they did to get Debo. But I also don't like what they did to get Debo. I mean, he's 29 years old. Stephon Diggs is 31. DJ Moore is 28. So I would be okay with this move if they were actually going to compete. I think this season is over. So you're really basically saying that we're going to be a championship contender. Not even just a championship contender, but you have to guarantee that you're going to Super Bowl. If not, then we have to do something in the offseason. Trading some of these pieces. Diggs is a great player. Madden cover a couple years ago, 31. Debo, 29. Obviously, we know what he can do. DJ Moore, another great player. And I think that's great that you have great players. I mean, if you're struggling, you want to have great players because you can find a way to trade them to get better pieces, get better draft picks, maybe get younger talent. So, I mean, as far as this season, I think this is over, but I think you could use them as trade bait. Offensive line definitely needs some work, but they are pretty young. But O-line does not really progress as we would expect. But a pretty average O-line. I mean, I wonder if you would want to draft the O-line. I doubt it, unless they're like a top 10 draft pick, because, like I said, they don't progress that often. So basically, offensively, on paper, I think this is one of the best offenses. But they're old, so that would be my take on their offense. I didn't even say their tight end. Think you might want to find another tight end. I mean, I think I have Loveland in my mind, so I would say draft a tight end, but I'm not sure how that would go. I didn't really look at the draft prospects. So overall, my offense, I'm saying we need to change up Josh Allen. I don't think he should be here. That's probably crazy to say, but I think you trade him in the offseason. Maybe get a. I don't know because I don't know a team that's struggling that would want a Josh Allen, 30 years old. He'll be 30 at that time. So maybe I don't know. That's up to the GM to find out what to do with Josh Allen. But he's a big question mark to me. And the receiving core. Thank you. Trade everybody. Yeah. Yep. I guess that's what I'm saying. Trade everybody. Trade Stephon. Trade Samuel. Trade Moore. Trade Allen. For the defensive side, rumors were spreading that he was planning on. Let me look at these contracts. Yeah. Okay. So rumors were spreading that he wasn't sure if he was going to re-sign Greg. So when you look at this defensive line, I mean, okay, I mean a lot. Von Miller's 36. He's going to go, obviously, probably retire. Michael Hall, a great young piece. Maybe try to develop him more. But other than that, I don't see much potential in this defensive line, especially with Greg possibly leaving. In my opinion, like I said earlier, trade a lot of pieces. I mean, you still have to deal with that trade penalty. So I say find room to re-sign him, re-sign Greg. Maybe find a draft. I don't know because I'll get back to that when I look at the rest of this defense. Linebackers. Linebackers are obviously important in this league. I don't see any really game changers, but a lot of people like to go for speed. And yeah, I think you need. Wow. I think it's a lot of holes on this defense. Linebackers included. Milano's 31 years old. Gonna have to find a replacement for him. Secondary, we've seen them trade. I forget his name. What's his name? Break. I forgot his name, but he was
Trey
traded.
White.
What was his name?
Trey White.
Trey
Tre'Davious
White.
White.
Yeah, they traded Javarius White for Debo Samuel. Both of them were pretty old. I don't think that was a bad move. Honestly, when that move was done, I thought it was a great move for him. It was hard to guard Stephon Diggs and DJ Moore. So adding Debo Samuel looked pretty good at the time because I thought they were going to start winning. Hasn't turned out that way. So going back to the secondary, Michael Hyde, 34 years old. He's probably done here. Well, what we would expect him to produce. A young superstar in Jair Elam. So that's the promising piece. Nick E. I'm not going to try to say his last name. 20 years old, 91 speed, hidden dev. So maybe that was a replacement for Javarius White. But looking at the secondary, honestly, it needs work. Not too much speed, not high overalls. So overall, a lot of moves have to be made. Like I said, I think you move. I don't know if you can move Josh Allen. I think that trade penalty is going to be crazy. But yeah, that trade penalty is going to be crazy. So I guess you have to stay with Josh Allen. Let me look at these receivers. Yeah, I think this is where my GM skills show that I'm not that good at being a GM because You can't just trade him. That's not how this works. Um. So yeah, I don't actually. I really don't know what to do from here. Yeah, that's. I'm done. I don't know what to do.
The ship is sinking. The ship is sinking. Mayday, mayday. It's all right. I'll take over from there. All right. Buffalo hires me. Coach the line hits me up. Yo, man, I need you to come in here and do some consultations for me. I need you to show me the way. Now, if you look at the Bills, they are rated 85 overall, so they're good. Majority of the teams that started this year or that started this Madden cycle, 79, 80 overall, 81s. Majority of the teams. So right now, we are at 85. Great job. Awesome. Love it. Salary cap available, 28.48 million. Good. High fives all over the place. Why are we giving ourselves high fives? Because we have this right here that we're about to talk about. Josh Allen, 114 million. We have DJ Moore, 80.85 mil. We have Debo Samuel, 72.55 mil. Von Miller, 52.67 mil. Ed Oliver, 42.91 mil. That's a lot of mils. So the fact that they still have 28.48 mil? Shit, kudos to him. But hey, he's asking for a little bit of help. I'm here. We're here to make this right. So how do we course correct this? It's simple. Just like the Jets had all those receivers, the Bills have all those receivers. But we'll start off at the quarterback spot. 29 years old, Josh Allen. Everybody in this league right now, if we take a trip down memory lane, say 3 Maddens ago, Matthew Stafford was in the same spot with the Detroit Lions. 99 throw power. Everybody wanted Matthew Stafford. 29 years old, everybody wanted Matthew Stafford. Or back then he was like 28 maybe. Josh Allen, quick piece to move. The only thing is, who are you going to replace him with? There's somebody in the draft right now. Do you have a high draft pick? Josh Allen could easily go for a first round pick at 29 years old. Why? The quarterbacks live in this league to see 38, 39, 40 years old. Look at Aaron Rodgers. So somebody out there that has pretty much a nice roster but's missing that key piece at quarterback will be willing to say, hey, you know what? F it. I'll risk it. Josh Allen has 2 traits that I like. He's got 88 speed, 92 acceleration. So he can run. He can sit back in the pocket, dot the crap out of you. Throw the ball faster than most of these receivers can actually even catch. Medium accuracy, 97. Deep accuracy, 92. Needs to work on that. Short, 94. Medium is what majority of the teams out there throw right now is medium routes. So hey, I got a quarterback that's making this amount of money on my team, and I'm throwing these amount of interceptions with him. Just look at what happened in Chicago. Justin Fields, young, fast. Fuck it, let's get rid of him. Something's not working. So, someone out there that's struggling with a quarterback, needing that final piece. Hey, shit, you know what? I'm on the phone with the line. Yo, bro, what's it gonna cost for me to get Josh Allen? Let me talk to my guy that's consulting for me right now. Hey, what should I give? What should I get? A first and a third. Why? Speed, throw power, short, medium, deep. Throw on the run is 96. You're not married to this person. So my move right now would be, let me hit up the Jaguars. Let me hit up the Falcons. Let me hit up the who's the other one? The Giants. Let me figure out who's in the top 5. See how I can get the Manning guy to come to my team. I got the person that I can move, and I got other positions too that I can give away. Let me sell out for Arch Manning. You got the piece right there sitting right in front of you. Maybe you're not used to a quarterback with his type of throw power, style, whatever the case may be. All right, cool. Move on from him. You got the pieces everywhere else in offense. You got the running back. You got the tight end. I mean, Dawson Knox, he's a beast. 20 years old, 87 speed. Dalton Kincaid, another beast, 6'4", 86 speed. Majority of the people out there with tight ends right now, they're at 81 speed. So both those tight ends could be trade bait. James Cook, have to resign him back. 25 years old, 92 speed, 95 or 93 excel. Shit, I'm good at running back right now. I'm not drafting a running back at all. Tight ends, I'm set. 28, 25. I got a older guy that can mentor the younger guy. I'm good. They're both stars. Cool. Receiving core, I do not touch this for 1 second. Stephon Diggs, Samuel, and more. You guys are staying with me until you guys retire. 2 X factors on each corner. A superstar in the middle with DJ. Bro. Like you're set right there. And all the only piece that's missing is a quarterback. Offensive line, yeah, we're struggling in that category. But 25, 27, 28, 23, 21, they're young. So those numbers can boost up if we start slide protecting, ID in the mic, double teaming. All those things can help. Leaving 2 running backs in the backfield instead of putting them out on flats, have them block, or do a delay route where they just block and then push out. All those little things can help this offensive line. So I'm not panicking with the O-line. Defensively, though, this is where I start to panic. I am not, for any amount of money, going to lose that 91 overall 25-year-old defensive star. Greg Rosenhaus is staying on this Bills team. Von Miller, 36 years old. I would have traded his ass at the trade deadline. Would have got a 5th-round pick from him. Ship him out. Ed Oliver, 27 years old, D tackle. He's good. The Bills do play a 43 defense, I believe. So this is why they got 284s at D tackles. Left end, or actually no, we're okay. So right end, we're gonna lose Von Miller, right? He's out. He's making a lot of money. 36 years old. At the offseason, he's retiring. So that's dead cap. Linebackers, Matt Milano, 31 years old, 86 overall. What am I doing? I'm going to shift him because obviously he's going to get a little bit slower from his 87 speed. All right, you know what? I'm losing a 85 speed Von Miller. Okay, Matt Milano, your time to shine. You're going to be my new right end. Plug and play. I can't get rid of you because of your contract. Boom, you're right end now. That opens up the market for the asterisk Gillette number 55 that they have. 23 years old, 6'6". Like we got Jordan sitting at linebacker. What the F? 83 speed, 91 acceleration. So he's going to be the person that I put at middle linebacker, moving from left to middle, and I'm using him. Why? His height. He's got 83 speed, so he can cover the middle of the field easily. 91 acceleration if somebody gets behind me. So boom, that's where I got him. Now we have some shorties on the team too. 6'1", 6'2", 6 foot, 6 foot, 6'1". I don't tend to go with any linebackers that are under 6'3". Like this is a Six Flags Great America ride for you. If you are underneath that, you can't ride this team. Point blank. Why? Because all they got to do is just pass lead up. Bro, you're looking like a little 2-year-old covering a 7-year-old. It ain't going to happen. So linebackers would be my first thing that I attack on the draft. First thing is quarterback, though. So, hey, maybe I trade Josh Allen and I get a linebacker with that and a pick. I mean, there's a lot of ways to spin this trade. But linebacker is what I need the most. Why? Because I'm getting beat up the middle. These drag routes I can't cover, these slant routes, these freaking flat routes that the running backs are doing, I can't cover none of that shit. How do I fix that? My linebacking core. Now we go to the secondary. Yeah, they got rid of Tre'Davious White. Big deal. Old as hell. What I would have done at the start of this season, this 20-year-old strong safety that I have, 6'4", 6'4". Why the fuck is he not a cornerback? 91 speed, 91 acceleration. I am converting him as of yesterday to a cornerback. I am putting him on my training camp. The rest of this year, the rest of next year, he is on that 24/7. This man has the opportunity to be the next shutdown cornerback that can give a great compliment to Kaiir Elam. So his 2 cornerback slots are fixed already. He lost Tre'Davious White, big deal. Nick, next man up. Put him at cornerback, 79 overall, not bad. He's already got 87 zone, 82 man. Oh no, lies. That's the wrong person. He's at 79 for zone and man. 5 or 6 weeks, 7 weeks in that training camp. He's at 82 on both, easily. The next cornerback that I get promoted up is Sam McCall. 76 overall, 21 years old. He's got nothing but youth at cornerback that can easily get promoted to starters. Obviously, the people that are 86 speed, 88 speed, those people, they're not corners. On my team, they are not corners. I can shift those to safeties, see what happens. Get their safety zone coverage up, or the zone coverage up, safety zone coverage. What the fuck? I'm getting too hyped up right now. I'm looking at this team, I'm just like, damn, I could do so much with this secondary. But I'm basically getting all my old folks out of there and putting all these young bucks. 88 speed for safety, hell of a speed. Brisker is 88 speed. That man was killing it for Chicago. Christian Bedford, 6'1", 88 speed, 92 excel. That's easy recovery time right there. Like, we got the pieces, it's just we got to realign our depth chart. Kickers, you got a guy that's named Base. Feel the base. And he's a star. So, my biggest takeaway on this, the team is not in shambles. By far, they're not even close to it. The only thing that's eating them alive right now is the salary cap issue that they have. And by trading Josh Allen, they're going to alleviate so much cap. And they're going to be able to get a lot of compensation back for it. So, receivers, keep those guys till the wheels fall off. Easily, you can get something really good for Diggs. I can guarantee that. Debo as well and DJ as well. I am not jumping shit with this receiving core. I would draft maybe one receiver, maybe in the later rounds, like 5th, 6th, 7th round, see if you strike gold. But the other receivers they have on this team, I don't see them making the team next year. If they have cheap contracts that you just cut, except for Justin Shorter, I would probably give him a shot because he is 6'4". But the rest, they're not making the squad at all. They're not going to benefit the team. They're short, 5'11". Xavier is 6'2", but his speed is 87. His acceleration is 89. That's not going to do me anything. Tupac Shakir, he's not doing anything for me. So, all those players except for Justin Shorter, which is 6'4", I'm just keeping him for his height. he can easily get up to a 91 speed in an entire season. And I mean, yeah, Kobe Young could be a gem, but bro, he's 5'11". You already have your slot receiver in DJ Moore. There's no reason to hold on to him. You can trade him for a good overall draft pick. But the O-line needs a little bit of help. And that's how it would change this whole team over. Those are just my 2 cents. Can't wait to see what the Jets has to say on this.
All right. All right. First, we're looking at the quarterback situation. I always love looking at the quarterback situation. Josh Allen this season. I mean, here's the updated stats because I know Neon hasn't been updated yet. But 24 touchdowns, 24 interceptions. Kind of reminded me of Jameis Winston there with the interceptions and passing touchdowns. Got to cut down those numbers. If not, you got to find somebody's gonna want him. Like if you put him on the block, somebody's gonna want a 99 QB who's got 99 throw power, 95 short accuracy, 98 medium accuracy, 92 deep accuracy. So either you're gonna have to make a decision soon, saying do I want to keep Josh Allen? Do I want to keep do I want to keep him or do I want to trade him? That's the first thing I'm gonna say about this Bills roster. It's either a keep or trade situation at QB. Halfback, I know OG just said it, but I gotta say it too. James Cook, you gotta find a way to keep him. If you don't find a way to keep him, find someone in the draft. But I would say James Cook, he's an integral part of your offense and the running game. Gotta find a way to keep him. Then when I look at your wide receivers, Stephon Diggs, he's 31. Little Deebo Samuel, 29. DJ Moore, 28. They most likely give you what 2 to 3 more seasons of production. Diggs might retire in between. I don't know, but you still get a little bit. You still get good production in your receiving room. Maybe get another young receiver to help out. When one of I know regression's back to normal, but get another one just so he's ready. In the reins. Tight end, I love the tight end situation. You got Dawson Knox and Kincaid. That's a great tight end situation. I don't know if you move one, because probably one of them's really good at blocking. I'd probably just stay packed there. Your left tackle, definitely something I might look at with in the draft. You got a normal dev there. 68 overall. Left guard, Connor McGovern, that's okay. He's in his prime, he's okay, but you got Javion Cohen in the back. He's 23, 74, but he's a normal dev. I'd probably progress him. Center, you got Ryan Bates. He's 28, 76 overall. I mean, in general, the O-line could use some help. I mean, you got some young guys at 2 positions, but you also want to look into, I would say, protecting that. I mean, PJ Williams is 21, 72 overall, so your blind side's protected, but you need to protect the whole protection because guys in this league, especially in the AFC, they got good D linemen, so you're gonna have to protect whoever your quarterback is. I don't care if it's Josh Allen or someone you get in the draft like an Arch Manning. Got to have protection. And then as I shift over to the defense, Gregory Rousseau, he might be losing him, 25 years old, 91 overall. That's going to be a big loss if they do lose him. Obviously, in my opinion, that's another guy I'd find a way to keep. But if you can, you're going to have to draft a replacement if you can't keep him, of course. Right end, got the dinosaur, Mr. Von Miller. That's something I'd look to replace in the draft within the first 4 rounds, maybe. DT, you're pretty much set. You got Ed Oliver and Michael Hall Jr. You're pretty much set there. Left outside linebacker. I mean, Dorian Williams, he's decent. 84 speed, 89 excel. but he's only a 72 and he's 24. I mean, I'd develop him a little bit, or even the guy behind him with all the, the asterisks. You got to develop him. Middle linebacker, that's another position I like, but could use maybe somebody a little bit younger. Like they got 3 26-year-olds. None of them that jump off the page to me. 73, 69, 66. No, nothing that jumps off the page at that position. Right outside linebacker, obviously you're gonna have to replace Matt Milano soon, if not, now. Cornerback, Kyer Elam, Sam McCall, and then of course we said Nick Wari. He's probably gonna need to might want to move him to corner and get another safety and put Benford back there. But if I'm the Bills, I think you're in a good spot, but you definitely gonna need to work on that cap space and get those replacements like we were saying. And they don't have another thing I was looking at. They don't have a first round pick this year. I think they gave it up in the San Francisco trade, so that's kind of a letdown on the Debo. That's my one letdown on the Debo trade, losing that first round pick. Other than that, I think their roster they're gonna need a little bit of a fix on the roster, defensively more than offensively, and that's only my opinion. These guys gave their opinions, I gave mine, and we'll see what Buffalo does with it. In these upcoming seasons.
Actually, I got something else to add that I just saw. So he's got a left guard that is a 78 overall, 6'5", 318, 66 speed, 61 acceleration. What I would do if I was the head coach, convert him to my left tackle. That gives me stability on my blind side, and he's not as big enough to where he can't move. So that'll stop a lot of pressure coming from the left side. On the flip side, I would convert over my right guard, which is a 79 overall, to right tackle. Potentially, even my center can go to right tackle. I would probably do my center because he's a little bit slimmer. The right guard is 347. The center is 302 with 6'4", which is still adequate. He does have faster speed though, so majority of the good defensive ends play the left end. So that's the right tackle, where I would put Ryan Bates at right tackle automatically. And then I'll convert either PJ Williams or Javin Cohen to fill the two voids that we have. And so Connor McGovern will be a tackle on the left side. Ryan Bates would be my right tackle. And then the rest I just basically plug via overall. But that could be a quick fix for the remainder of the season, see how it plays out. If it doesn't work out, hey, go back to the places that they were at. But that would be my quick fix on that O-line situation. Isaiah, you got any final thoughts for the Bills?
I mean, after hearing what you said, I mean, the Bills is still a good head coach. So like you said, I mean, it's not over. The sink is, I mean, the ship has not sank. Just got to make a lot of some important moves in the offseason. Trade Allen. And I think really once you trade Allen, I think a lot of the pieces from the puzzle are going to start, connecting. So that was just number one goal for me. Trade Allen and see what you get, and then move on.
Okay. All right, so the next team that we're about to touch base on is the Miami Dolphins. Miami's currently sitting at 3-7, 84 overall team. Isaiah, back to you.
All right. So before the season started,
I like the way he always starts it before the season started. Like shit, what good stuff he's gonna say? How did I fuck it up?
Before the season started, I mean, looking at the division has been the Jets. I would have probably expecting the Bills to take another step. So I would be looking on the outside in when it comes to the playoffs. So record wise, I wouldn't be expecting a good record. So this season I probably would focus on developing and trading some pieces for some young pieces and some draft picks. Honestly, the first thing I would have done is fire my offensive coordinator. Tua, when he was with the Dolphins, 28 touchdowns, 35 interceptions. You draft J.J. McCarthy 4th overall. So you're obviously expecting him to have a great season. I mean, be a great franchise player. 19 touchdowns, 22 interceptions first season. 14 touchdowns, 18 interceptions this season so far. Watching some of the games, the reads just aren't there. The offense looks a little slow. Like maybe they just need some changes in the offense. I would fire my offensive coordinator. That's the first thing I'm doing. Letting JJ know. Obviously, part of it's on him, but part of it is on our offensive coordinator. Get into the lab and work on that new offense. That's the first thing I'm doing. Okay. Next thing I'm doing. Okay, should I look at the roster first? All right, let's do it from the roster down. So JJ, he's good. Even if he wasn't good, I would still have to stick with him. I mean, you drafted him 4th overall. I don't really like that move. I think you probably could have waited a little bit more, get some other pieces. Maybe like a Brock Bowers, an O lineman or something. But you can't change the past. I'm keeping JJ, changing my offense. 88 speed, maybe orchestrated offense. As we're about to see, they have a pretty good running back. Maybe an option where you always have an option to run. Keep the defense guessing. But JJ is not the problem. Running backs, Devon, I like him. 95 speed, 23. You don't. Every team doesn't need a two good running back. The head coach did say he wanted to get AJ a little bit more involved, but I don't think that's necessary. You also have Jace, 23 years old, 89 speed. He's basically AJ Dillon, younger, a better change of direction. I mean, I would stay with him. Devon, Jace, that's my 2 running backs. But like I said, you don't need to. Every team doesn't need to. 95 speed. I'm good with that. They do have a fullback. I mean, I don't really care about fullbacks. I don't think they should care about fullbacks unless they're running the ball a lot. Wide receivers, Tyreek Hill, 99 speed, 99 overall. We already know. X Factor. Let's include that. I think it's time you trade him. Obviously, you're not competing this year. Get a draft pick. Honestly, I think he's worth more than just the first round. I don't think that really had to be said, even though he's 31 years old. So maybe get a draft pick, and a young piece. I don't think you go for another wide receiver unless you can prove that you can really develop your wide receivers. Maybe draft a wide receiver late in the draft. Jackson, Najigba, we saw him get traded from the Seahawks. It was that Jalen Waddle trade. I like him. I think he can be really great for this team. Yeah, keep him. I build around him. Create, like I said, a new offense that can get him the ball more, let him develop into one of the best receivers in the league. Odell, I don't think he's going to be re-signed at the end of the season. Getting a nice veteran was good. Try to help develop your receivers. I don't know if he has that mentor trait, but if he did, I like that move. Try to develop your young receivers. Emeka Okay, yeah, you know who I'm talking about. Um, I like him too. Think he was drafted in the second round. Um, let me look at this depth chart. Okay, looking at the depth chart, I probably would have. Well, not a probably. I would probably have him over Odell. Maybe over Tyreek Hill if I knew I was going to trade Tyreek Hill. Try to develop him. Maybe hope for a breakout game. Then I have two good young receivers in Jackson and Emeka. Um, Offensive line, Armstead. I would have traded him. I think you could still trade him this offseason. Obviously not for much. 30. He'll be 35. Um, yeah, this offensive line is. Yeah, this offensive line is not good. Maybe that's another reason why JJ is struggling. Where's this team offensively? Offensively, they're ranked 23rd. I think offensive line has a real there's a real reason for that. I mean, you have great receivers, but if they don't have enough time to get open, then it really doesn't matter. So that's probably another one of my focuses. But then I think offensive line is probably one of the hardest to work on because they don't progress that easy. And you really want to draft a offensive lineman with one of your first picks? I'm going to get to that after. All right. So defensive line, Jalen Carter. He came from the Eagles, that Jalen Ramsey trade. Um, Christian Wilkins, 29 years old, star. Like I said, this is a rebuild for me. If I'm the Dolphins GM, I'm trading him. Zach, not saying his last name, 29 years old. Trading him. Left end Joseph, 25 years old, 85 speed. See what he can do to end the season off. Maybe hope for a depth game. Tim Keenan. Wow, this is the depth chart. Okay, if this is the depth chart, I'm moving Tim Keenan higher up. Let him get most of the snaps over Zach, I guess. I mean, Jalen Carter's there. Maybe move Tim to left end or right end, or Jalen Carter to left end or right end. But Tim is definitely getting a lot of the snaps. Linebackers. Jalen Phillips is hurt for the rest of the season, so I would move White or Hicks. Oh no, I would move White up because he has a hidden dev. Give him some snaps, see what he can do. If you can't tell, most of what I'm doing is just trying to develop younger talent. Older talent, well, just older people. Try to move them if you can. Don't ask for too much because you're probably not going to get too much back. But linebackers, my focus is White. 21 years old, 82 speed, hidden dev, and Hicks, 85 speed, 21 years old. See what I can do with them. Secondary, I like their safety. Holland, 25 years old, 91 speed. Devin Witherspoon, also from the Seahawks trade. I love him as a cornerback for them. Xavier Howard, I would try to trade him. Obviously not the same player from a couple seasons ago. Cam Smith, like I said, I would probably move him over Xavier Xavier Howard to develop him. But I think a key piece would try to draft another cornerback in the draft. Right now they have the 10th pick. I wouldn't draft a cornerback that early, but maybe in the second or third round get one. But as far as probably get another safety, they don't have get another safety and draft a cornerback for the secondary and develop that young talent. Um, Overall, this is obviously a rebuild. I'm trading Tyreek Hill. That's clear for me, and I'm developing my younger talent. Uh, Move some older guys down into the depth chart and see if I can sneak in a dev game. I know they're not that common anymore for some reason, but hopefully, I mean that would be my goal, and try to build back through the draft. I think this was a not a shot at the Dolphins GM, but I think this was a failure for them. I mean, when you bring in Tyreek Hill, uh, Bradley Chubb, you're expecting a Super Bowl. That didn't go well. You can't change the past. Move forward and try to do a rebuild properly where we're not trying to just get superstars when we don't really have an offense to, like, for example, we don't need Tyreek Hill if he's not really getting the ball, if we can't protect our quarterback to even give him time to throw the ball. Clear the salary cap by trading guys like Tyreek Hill, and then hopefully build through the draft. And as the really bad teams, I mean really good teams, they can't pay their superstars. You can sneak in, get one of those players. And honestly, it really only takes one player, in my opinion, one superstar on defense, one superstar on offense to really change a team. So you could get that through the draft, you could get that through free agency. Yeah, I'm all over the place, but yeah.
All right, so I'm stepping in with 84 overall Miami Dolphins team. Available cap 25.23 mil. My biggest cap expenses that I have: Tyreek Hill 50.25 mil, 90.66 bonus. Wow. David Howard 20.84 mil, 70.28 bonus, and they're both signed for 2 more years. Then I don't go until Bradley Chubb, making 43.39 with a bonus of 74.39. So the bonuses are basically eating Dolphins apart right now. Safety, Holland, 48.41 with a 48.55 mil bonus. And that's pretty much it. Those are the 4 most expensive contracts that I have on this team. So how do we fix this? We're gonna start with the offense, like we have been. JJ, kind of reached for him. I feel like if he would have stayed at his original draft spot, he would have been able to still get him. But 88 speed, 88 acceleration, not a bad quarterback to take. Running backs, AJ Dillon, not sure why we went for them. If we got Jace McCullen in the backfield, so AJ might be expendable. Tight ends, we actually have a fullback on the team. That's kind of rare to see nowadays. Fullback's not really, let me see, run block, 68 run block, so he's not doing anything special. So that could be somebody that we can cut, 29 years old, save us some money. We can actually convert one of these tight ends that we have to a fullback. Wide receiving core, couple of people over the age of 30. Tyreek Hill, 31. OBJ, 32. Wasn't really a fan of that Waddle trade. I think we should have kept him. Could have traded Tyreek Hill instead of Waddle. My thought. I'm pretty sure the Seahawks would have taken Tyreek in a heartbeat instead of Waddle. But now we're stuck here with this bonus cap, so it is what it is. Offensive line, there's a lot of work that needs to get done here. We go from 87 overall left tackle, 80 overall right tackle to 69, 68, 66, 66. So offensive line, first thing you hit, if you got a top 15 pick in the first 2 rounds, I am not going for any other position except offensive line, either through the draft or the free agency market. But I am getting people in there that are at least 75 and up overall. Defensively, on the D line, we got Wilkins, that's 29 years old, right end. Zach Zeeler, D tackle, 29 years old, 83 overall. 83 overall, 29 years old. I don't know if I said it right. Joseph Asai, that's a good piece to have, 85 speed, 91 acceleration for a defensive end. Tim Keenan, 21 years old, 75 overall. He can actually go in there. You can put Jalen Carter on the outside, put Keenan in the inside, and then you got Joseph Asai as your other defensive end. The Dolphins do run a 34 defense, though, so those would be the best players. Johnson got released from the Bears, 92 speed. He can be a great asset for you at linebacker. No need to have him at defensive end. This Isaac, right end, good potential there. 23 years old, 82 speed. And then the other two, I mean, if it works, it works. Linebackers, we have Jalen Phillips, 85 overall, 26 years old. Middle linebacker Jerome Baker, 28 years old, 88 speed. Bradley Chubb, you can actually convert him to a defensive end. Fix that issue there. I feel like you'll get more pressure from him at the defensive end spot than you would at the outside linebacker. Let me see, what else do we have here to play with? Your main user linebacker that you should have at all times, Channing Tindall, 91 speed, 96 acceleration. That person should be middle linebacker and the user linebacker they use. Do not let him be used by the computer. Reason being, overall is low. Awareness is not all the way up there. So you can compensate by having the 68 awareness by having him usered. Gives you fast, you can cover the entire field, sideline to sideline, hash mark to hash mark, in a heartbeat. Secondary, here's where I would change things around. You got Holland as a free safety, 88 overall, 25 years old, 6'1", 91 speed, 94 excel. Convert him to a cornerback. Best decision you can make. You're losing at 88 overall free safety, but you're converting Xavier Howard to a free safety now. Gives you 89 speed, 89 acceleration. Zone coverage is 83. So what Holland brings to you at the cornerback spot is 90 zone, 88 man. Gives you the flexibility to run either zone or man when you're covering the number one receiver for the opposing team. No reason why you should have those stats sitting in the backfield where they rarely get the ability to man somebody up. You also have another hidden gem. Where's he at? Adam. Oh, no, never mind. He's already a free safety. Devontae Oldham, moving him as a strong safety would help you out a lot. And then converting Brandon Jones to a cornerback would bolster that cornerback team that you have right now that's not looking too strong. But it's quick fixes on this team that can get you to the next level. Obviously, wide receiving core has to be addressed. Your offensive line easily needs to be addressed free agency and the NFL draft. But I mean, I don't really see too many holes in this team. Running backs, AJ Dillon can get you a good draft pick there. 27 years old, 81 overall, 88 speed. I mean, I don't know too many people that will go for 88 speed with 87 acceleration, but I mean, that could be a piece that you can try to move. Either a late round draft pick, fifth, sixth. But you have Jace in the backfield that you drafted, 23 years old, 89 speed, 90 acceleration. That should suffice you losing Dillon 100%. See what else? What else? Biggest trade piece, like Isaiah said, Tyreek Hill. There's no reason why you should keep him. He's 31. Yeah, he's got 99 speed. That's awesome. But right now you can't get the ball out because you're getting pressured. So trade him for either draft picks, offensive line, combination of both. Try to get yourself another cornerback. There's a lot of trade bait that you can request for Tyreek Hill. Maybe that's a piece that the Bengals might trade for. The Steelers could trade for him easily. I could see that. Hell, even the Jets could probably trade for him too. Like I said, these teams that are in the playoff portion of their lifespan right now, these are the teams you have to hit up. You got to get on the phone. You can't just be posting on the players on the blog. You got to physically do the labor. Hey, I got Tyreek Hill on the market. What would you give? First question to give you is, what are you asking for? As a salesperson, never tip your hand. I got this player. What's your best offer? Well, what do you want? What's your best offer? I'm going to have you make the first move, then I counter. If you give your tipping hand, hell, who knows if they were going to offer a first round, third round, and fifth round pick. And you say, okay, I only want a second and a fourth. Right there, you just shot yourself in the foot. Salesman 101. Hey, I got this player. I got the upper hand right now. I got the leverage. What would you be willing to give up for him? Well, I'll give you a first. Okay, cool. On to the next. When they try to lowball you, that's when you're like, okay, you know what? I'm not even gonna entertain the offer. I tried coming at you and you gave me a lowball offer. Fuck it, let me go find somebody else. But if they start saying, hey, I'll give you this, this, and that, okay, cool. Now it's something that a conversation could get started. But it's just being a salesman 101. You can learn that on YouTube. You can learn that anywhere on how to negotiate. But man, Tyreek Hill, that he can give you some weapons. I know the 49ers, yeah, they would gladly take him. All these teams right now that are in the playoff contentions, put them in your little black book, Rolodex, whatever the hell you use. Hit them up at the end of the season. Be like, yo, I got this player. What are you guys willing to offer? Well, what do you want? That's not the question I asked. I got him. What are you guys willing to give? Once they give you what they're willing, okay, does it make sense? Cool, let's talk. But that's where I would be at with the Miami Dolphins. Jets?
Yeah, well, quarterback. I mean, I think you're pretty much set with JJ McCarthy. You need to develop him. That's about all you can do. But you gotta have an O line behind him, and having those 66s or whatever, 60s on the line. That's deteriorating. Him getting better and him, actually having a chance to develop. We see that in real life, like Bryce Young. He's basically looking like shell shocked out there already. You know, he gets ready to throw. He's got like five dudes already already there before he throws it. But that's my first thing I'm gonna say about this offense. Tyreek, I trade him. Tyreek probably wants to be in a win now situation, considering he's 31 years old. This is a rebuild. I don't think Tyreek having a 31-year-old receiver is helping you with that rebuild. Tight end definitely could use one probably. Then I look at the defensive side. I mean, Got a lot of good, got a lot of good pass rushing. Christian Wilkins is now on the outside. You got Joseph Asai, like you said earlier, and Kyron Johnson, who's got a lot of speed. Uh, Defensive tackle, you got Jalen Carter, and you got Tim Keenan. I'd probably let see. I mean, maybe there's a team that wants Zach Sealer, or you know, depending on what his contract looks like, maybe just let him go at that point. But I would try to get something for him. Outside linebacker, you got Jalen Phillips. He's hurt, unfortunately, at the moment. I think he's done for the season, actually. So you have Enai White. He's 21 years old, 85 speed, 86 cell, stepping in as of right now at that position. Middle linebacker, you got Jerome Baker, Divine Diablo, and Channing Tindall. All three are great users. Maybe you move on from, I don't know, maybe Diablo, and let someone, either one, let someone get something for them. Since your main focus should probably be using Channing Tindall. He's the youngest there, and definitely someone I'd like to develop. Cornerback situation. I mean, I agree and disagree with the moving Javon Holland to cornerback. And here's why. They have Cam Smith. He has 94 speed, 95 excel, just because of that speed thing on the coach's tree. But you have him. He's 81 overall. He's 24 years old. You have Kyrie Jackson, 23 years old, 6'3", 94 speed, 91 excel. I think you're pretty much set at your three corners for the future with Spoon. I mean, yeah, maybe you move Howard. I'd say maybe you do that, even though Howard has 92 speed. Also, I would do that maybe because as corners get older, they move the free safety. They move the safety, and then Holland could be a corner if you want him to, because he'll get that speed boost. And he'll probably have like 93, 92 speed at corner. Strong safety. I mean, Brandon Jones. I mean, he's okay. 79 overall though. He's star dev. He's okay and he holds it down. I mean, you'll have Oldham. Maybe move Oldham and, like you said, move Oldham and Jones. Switch those two. And I mean, kicker. You're fine. You got Jason Sanders, 95 kick power. And then I look at your draft capital here. You got you got one first this year. You have Philadelphia. You got 2/3, a second, and a fourth. I mean, you're looking all right for this year. But I would say, yeah, this is a rebuilding team. And honestly, for the roster that they started with, I think this is a failure.
Couldn't have said it any better than that. Isaiah, you got any more comments to add?
No.
He's like, nah, let's move on to the next. So this was supposed to be an AFC/NFC breakdown. We're gonna have to save the NFC side for a different one because we're pushing 2 hours on this one. I didn't think it was gonna take this long, but hey, we live and we learn. So
Hey, Bears, can I add one more thing?
yeah,
I forgot to add that. I forgot. I was looking at their receivers again. They also have Emeka Ibuka. I don't know if he was drafted last year or this year. That's another guy I would look to get involved in the offense once once you get those O line pieces, because he's young. He's got 3 years left on his deal. He's only 22 years old. He's another guy I would try to get snaps and get reps.
yeah, you bypass Shaquille Ray, 95 speed.
Hey, I mean, hey, he's 24. But I mean, hey, I forgot about Shaquille Ray, but hey, you got the pieces in line. It's just developing and bringing more, bringing younger pieces in, some of the younger pieces in, and getting that draft capital.
Yeah, so it's a quick fix for them. And the last team that we're about to break down on this show today Damn, tonight. Gonna be the feels like tonight already. The last team is the Patriots. Patriots, as I go back to they're sitting at a 2-7 record. Roscoe took over the team with a whole bunch of losses. I don't think they had any wins when they took over. Correct me
Yeah, I
if
don't
I'm
think
wrong.
so
Let me
either.
see. Nope.
I don't think they did. No.
So the new coach got 2 wins under his belt. Let me see. When did they play? No, that was the Chargers. Never mind. I was looking for Tennessee on the schedule. But Patriots, new head coach, 2 wins under his belt. Isaiah, what's your breakdown on this team?
All right. So before the season, we gotta remember, before the end of last season, before the end of last season's trade deadline, they made some moves. They got. Let me make sure. I don't want to say if it's wrong. All right. They got Marlon Humphrey. This was a point in time when I was like, oh snap. Next season, they already had a great defense. Next season, they're going to actually be competing for the division. Last season, the Jets had a slow start to the beginning of the season, so I'm thinking we get Marlon Humphrey. Our defense is going to be even better. Jets have a young quarterback. We always gave the Jets a hard time. This season, we can beat the Jets. To the division, I think we could win the division. As as far as seedings, I mean, I don't care. I mean, we haven't made the playoffs in a little bit. I'm fine with a 7th seed. I'm fine with this. Wait, actually, since we win a division, we have to get a top 4 seed. I'm fine with the 4th seed. That's the thought process. But also, Deshaun Watson is a big red flag. I mean, we have to find a way to get another quarterback. Whether that's trading an old guy that still has a little bit left in him to gamble on a quarterback who hasn't proven himself yet, but with great development, probably could. That's my focus. So before the season started, my focus on winning the division, relying on my defense as we gamble on a quarterback. That's not Deshaun Watson, who has been terrible for us. 24 touchdowns, 29 interceptions. The Browns dodged the bullet by trading him because he has not played well since you know when. So now during the season where we're at right now, we had to fire our head coach. He wasn't getting the job done. We expected a lot better from him. When we fired him, we were, I'm going to guess, 0-6. We were 0-6. He was not getting the job done. We had to fire our head coach. We talked, had a lot of coaches wanted to line up. We went with Roscoe. Has a similar idea of what we want to do here. Without a great quarterback, we want to pound the ball, come out, single back tight, always a threat to run, but we also can pass it when the defense is clearly showing that they think we're going to run, putting their safety down, coming out in a smaller type of defense. We can play action, throw the ball downfield, like our head coach, like his offense, like his defense. So now it's just about putting a roster around him that fits his offense, and also putting a roster around him that obviously fits his defense. The defense is pretty much good. I mean, it would have been good if we were competing, but now we're going to have to work on that defense as well. All right. So quarterback, Deshaun Watson, he's not the guy. Let me look at his contract. 2 years left on his contract. I doubt anybody's going to want him. Especially because he's 29 years old. But I'm fine. Let me look at something. never mind. But he might just ride the bench for a little bit. I would honestly give Malik the snaps for the rest of the season. Actually, we're 2-7. Let me see something real quick. Great. I don't know if they have their draft pick this year. If they have their draft pick this year, honestly, I'm fine with letting Deshaun Watson start. He hasn't played well. He can help us get some losses, and we're looking to draft Arch Manning, Malachi Johnston, or Dante Moore. I think that's going to really help our offense. So yeah, I'm trying to do whatever I can do to lose, and that might just be Deshaun Watson, who has played pretty bad. Running back wise, Trevor Etienne, I love it there. Like I said, you don't need 2 running backs, but for his offense, he might want to go grab another running back. Because like I said, he likes to come out in that single back sometimes, single back tight. Another running back when Trevor gets hurt. I mean, wow, dang, I did not mean to wish that on him. When Trevor gets tired, have another running back to run the ball would be pretty good. Tight end Hunter Henry, pretty old tight ends. Maybe trade Hunter Henry, 91 catching. I would probably try to trade him. Everett's old. I mean, like I said, his offense, you might want a young tight end, a young speedy tight end. So maybe in the offseason, get a young speedy tight end, go into free agency, click on tight ends, click on speed, and see the fastest tight end. I mean, I don't really think it matters just overall, just based off his offense. I mean, you might want a tight end with good run block, and pass block. But other than that, I think you can just find somebody. Wide receivers, Quentin Johnson. I think the old head coach was really trying to push Quentin Johnson. I mean, no, it was Tyquan Thornton. Tyquan Thornton. Pretty young receivers. The only problem is to develop them, your quarterback will have to throw the ball. I'm not sure I trust Deshaun Watson to throw the ball, but like I said, you got to find a way to develop them, force them the ball sometimes. I mean, the season's basically over. You threw a lot of interceptions already. Force them the ball, help them develop. Tyquan Thornton, 96 speed. No, it's not. That's fire. So yeah, he'll probably be my main guy. Quentin Johnson, only 23 years old. Develop him. Hopefully, he can get to a superstar. Maybe you want to draft another wide receiver, but it'll probably have to be early. I mean, you already have some pretty average receivers. So if you can't find nobody, then I guess you could stick with them. Offensive line. Mike is pretty good. 89 overall. 27 years old. I guess if you want to compete next year, I mean, like his contract. I would probably trade him. I remember the last head coach, he was a little on the fence about if he wanted to trade him or not. But like I said, I wouldn't call it a rebuild just because of the great work that the head coach has done so far. I think this is just, quick fix. Trade guys like Mike to a team maybe like the Steelers. They traded Ronnie Stanley. They didn't want to deal with a old guy. I think he was 31 years old on a contract like that. Trade him to the Steelers. A team like the Steelers. Yeah, team like the Steelers. I'll probably say maybe a draft pick. I mean, I think he's worth more than just a draft pick. Younger talent, maybe on the offensive side. Trent Brown. I really wanted the Patriots to move on from him earlier, 2 years ago, but he was pretty stingy with him. Yeah, I have a lot of old offensive line, and other than that, it's pretty average, 70s, low 70s. So I guess you have to draft a offensive lineman. Defense. A couple years ago, I said a hot take that I thought this was a top 3 defense. They haven't really shown that ever since. Literally after I said that, they stopped showing it, but I still believe when I played them, they were one of the toughest defenses that I had to play. Mason Smith, 22 years old. Clearly, you want to use him. Clearly, he's one of the guys that you want on the defensive line because Judon's 33. Smith might be that guy that you're looking towards to hopefully be as impactful as Judon. Speaking of Judon, I probably would have tried to trade him before the trade deadline. I literally don't know a lot of teams that would trade for him now. Especially look, actually his contract's not that bad. 2 years left, but he's 33. I would trade him before the deadline, but you can't change the past though. Whatever. Tomlinson, pretty sure he was on the Giants before. I'm not sure if a trade happened, but he's not been productive. You got to clean up this D line. I think there are some pretty good edge rushers in the draft, so I'm not sure what they traded to get Marlon Humphrey, what draft pick they must have traded, but I think that this you could change this with just the draft this year. I would look at starting Tyler. Well, probably not starting, but yeah, starting honestly. Tyler Barron, 82 speed. Like I said, you're just gambling. I mean, season's basically over. See if you could develop him, get a couple sacks, maybe get a dev game. Probably not going to turn to a superstar off the bat, but a star is pretty good. Linebackers, Josh is X Factor, 26 years old, 86 speed. I wouldn't use him. He would be the other linebacker. I would probably use Nick, 89 speed. Josh would be good. I don't know if you would. I'm not sure. Let me look at his pass coverage. Well, his pass coverage isn't on here, but I know if you upgrade his pass coverage enough, you could possibly get Lurker on him. You gotta get like 90 pass coverage. So I would try to develop him to get Lurker, and then use Nick, 89 speed. Levante David, he's probably gonna retire after this year. Bentley's gonna be 30. So like I said, just focus on Josh, developing Josh, maybe possibly getting him Lurker. That would be honestly incredible. And then user Nick. I mean, actually, he's 27, so you might. I mean, doesn't really matter. I would use Nick, but if I could find another safety, I mean, linebacker that has high speed like 89, I would get him. Secondary, it sucks, but let me see. I don't know what age cornerback regressed, but if I could, no, I wouldn't. I don't know. I don't think I would. I don't think I would trade Marlon. I mean, like I said, I think that he can compete as fast as next year, unless I can get. Dang, I don't know. I don't think I would. 29. Yeah, I guess I would trade him. I'm not. I'm pretty sure you can get a lot for him. A lot of teams. I think a lot of teams have made some defensive moves, and I think defense really is the key this year. Unless your team like the coach can't have it, doesn't know what to do on offense. Get another piece, maybe a draft pick and a younger piece for Marlon. Like Christian Gonzalez, the old head coach was big on him, not trading him, not taking anything for him because he's a problem. 94 speed, X factor, 23 years old. He looks good. Kyle Duggar, I think he regrets. I thought he was X factor, but I think you could definitely get something for him. Keon Crossan, dang. Wow, he has some speed on the defense. Isaiah Bowden. I don't. Is this a depth chart? Yeah, this is the depth chart. I would probably give him some more reps to end the season. See what he can do. 97 speed is actually insane. But he can go all over the field. But also you could probably move him to cornerback. That would be deadly. If you move him to cornerback, then yeah, I would keep Marlon Humphrey. Unless of course you can get someone younger, similar, could develop like him. Then you have Marlon Christian and Isaiah Bowden. I think that's pretty tough, honestly. Let's look at the money. I mean, upcoming free agencies. Trent Brown, you're not resigning him. Bentley, you're not resigning him. Hunter Henry, I wouldn't resign him. Wow. Levante David, not resigning him. So honestly, money wise, after this season, well, you still have Deshaun Watson, but I don't know how you're going to deal with Deshaun Watson. But other than that, you're pretty good money wise. I say, I mean, obviously as a GM, you're not going to just tell you guys to tank, but I would lose as many games as I can for the rest of the season. Get a great quarterback. I think they're in actually pretty good position next year. You gotta think if they can get some money, like I said before. Some of the top teams, this is about the time where the top teams are about to lose some really good talent. This team with a new head coach, like his style on offense, like his style on defense, I think that they'll be pretty good for the next 3 years, depending on what they do this offseason.
Hey, Just, can you do me a favor and take over because I got a phone call.
Yeah, I heard you. I checked the messages. But here we go. We got Mr. Watson. That's somebody I would say is not my franchise QB. He's not gonna he's not the future, and he's not my franchise. So that they need a quarterback, probably somebody you can get in the draft, especially with their position. Halfback, you got Ramondre still, and you got Trevor Etienne. I think they've been starting Trevor Etienne. I think, especially because he's superstar, 93 speed, 96 excel. Jesus, uh, that's a great halfback room. Wide receiver, you got QJ Quentin Johnson, Tyquan Thornton, Wandale Robinson, Josh Palmer. I get another receiver to maybe develop with QJ. I mean, Tyquan obviously hasn't developed the way you wanted him to develop. I mean, he's 25, but he's only 81 overall. So I think you would probably want another wide receiver to go along with those two. Tight end, you got Hunter Henry, Gerald Everett, and Kylan Granson. That's a position I'd look to get, somebody younger, somebody in there. And then your left tackle, you got Trent Brown, 32, 83 overall, a little bit old. Left guard, Cole Strange, 27, 78 overall, but they also have Jalen Mayfield, 25, 75 overall. Andrews, old, he's 80. Owenwu, he's 27, but I mean, he is a 91 overall, so I'd keep him around. Right tackle, you got Zach Zinter behind 29-year-old, but he's only normal dev. You can't really get, devs ups for O-line, so I'd probably look into a new right tackle. Left end, Matt Judon, I would, move on from. He's a little old. He's only 83 overall, but he's still X Factor. So I'd probably try and get something for him. Right end, you got AJ Spencer and Mike Dana. Not the best ends to have, but there's something. Need something better over there on that side. Defensive tackle, you got Mason Smith. He's 22 years old. It's a great pickup. Dalvin Tomlinson, I think he was formerly actually on the Browns the last 31 years old, but I don't see any production out of him. So he'll probably be somebody that maybe at the end of the season is gone. They don't look to re-sign and bring back. Your outside linebackers, you got Jawan Bentley. He's 29 years old, 84 overall. Nah, it's okay, but he's old. No linebacker, you got David, you got Mapu, and you got Neiman. Right outside linebacker, you got Josh Uche, 86 speed, 93 acceleration. I would say maybe, depending on his zone coverage stats, maybe you move him to middle linebacker and let him use it. Let him be your user. Hold on, I'm gonna check his zone coverage stat right quick. Maybe not, because his zone coverage is only 66. So maybe you just let him do his thing on the edge, especially with his abilities being he's got no outsiders and speedster. If you get him up a little bit more, in these next few seasons, maybe he'll end up having edge threat at some point. Cornerback, you got Marlon Humphrey. We already said it. Christian Gonzalez. He's only 23 years old. And the ceiling is only going to get higher for him. Jack Jones. I'd maybe get a third corner. Maybe a third corner. Or I've been seeing Isaiah Bolden get more time at free safety. So I feel like Jabril Peppers' time is basically ticking there in New England. He's got a 3-year contract though, and he's 29 years old. So I would guess you move Bolden to maybe corner if that's allowed, since he's got 97 speed, or leave him there at free safety and give him time over Jabril Peppers. Strong safety, Kyle Duggar, 29 years old, 88 overall, superstar. Maybe I'd trade him. I'd probably trade him. You could probably get something good for a safety like that, and especially like Isaiah said, defense has been the big thing here in the league lately. And then I look at their draft capital; they don't have first round pick this year, which is going to, I would say, in a way, it's going to hurt their hopes of getting one of those top 5 quarterbacks, unless they have to trade some of those maybe a key piece to get one of those Malachi Nelsons or Dante Moore, or even Archie Manning, depending on who has that first pick. But that, in my opinion, is going to kind of kill their chances of getting one of those elite quarterback options that we were talking about. All in all, roster, it's something. It's something that it's either going to go up from here or it's going to go down from here. I would think you need some younger O linemen. You need more youth in this team. This isn't the Patriot way anymore, unfortunately. Where they would win Super Bowls and stuff like that. This isn't that anymore. They might need to get a little bit younger, and they have a nice base roster, if I'm being honest with you, but I think there's going to be some changes made within the next couple of seasons, and we'll see what happens from there.
Oh, that was a good point that you picked out. They don't have their draft pick, so actually that does hurt them a lot. Like you said, Arch Manning, Quentin Nelson.
Malachi Nelson, yeah.
Malachi Nelson, Dante Moore. Yeah, that kind of looks like that's not going to happen. So I'm not actually sure what you would do. You got to find a quarterback. Maybe hit up the Jets, Tua. But I think you want to go a little bit younger, so you can actually develop somebody.
If I'm being honest with you, Isaiah, there's even if he falls to the second round, I'd even maybe take a look at Connor Wegman.
I was actually looking at him. I didn't want to say him because I was thinking about maybe the coach was going to try to do something, but
he's somebody I would I would take a chance at looking at 6'3",
Yeah, 'cause-
250, 6'3",
yeah,
215. He's a good quarterback I'd look at. I mean, if you like I said, if he falls to that second round, he's someone
I
that they
think
can get.
I think he will, honestly. But then again, who knows?
Yeah, who knows what happens on draft night? That's I mean, and especially with it being, so far away. But that's something if I'm the Patriots, I would ask myself maybe, I can't move into the top 5. Maybe I can move into at least, late first round and try and grab him. If I can't
Right,
get him in if I can't get him in that, cuz you never know what happens in that second round. Somebody that's a QB needy team in that late first round that might be, like the Bills. We were talking about the Bills earlier. But the Bills
right,
would probably be, already have the Josh Allen situation handled at this point. If they don't, there's somebody else I would think looks at him. But if I'm the Patriots, that's one of the options I would look into, getting
or
Connor Wegman.
or you could look at the Raiders. I mean, this is a team that went to the playoffs last year, number 1 seed. They already proved that they have the team to do it. They could gamble. They could say, let me get let me look at their roster real quick. Let me get Marlon Humphrey. Um, let me get. Oh wait, he's kind of old.
I'd maybe go for Kyle Duggar if I'm them. That's who I'd.
Yeah, let me get Humphrey. Let me get Duggar. Let me get some more of your older people that still have something left, and let me go compete. I have the team to do it. Just need a little bit more pieces. I mean,
I
maybe they
mean,
would do it.
KJ Jefferson won MVP in his rookie season, so I don't think the Raiders want to move on from KJ
Exactly.
Jefferson. He won MVP in his first season, and then I mean, I don't know what happened this year, but KJ Jefferson, I think, is your answer at quarterback. Speaking of, since we're talking about the Raiders, that's their answer. So I don't see them, moving on from KJ, and I can
Right.
see them. As of now, they have the second pick. I can see them, gauging interest and saying, "Hey, who wants the second pick to either get Arch Manning, Dante Moore, or Malachi Nelson?" Those would be great options for the Raiders or a team like for the team like the Patriots to say, hey, we're willing to part with that to get our future and our franchise quarterback.
Right. I mean, if I'm the Raiders, I'm hoping I can lose a lot more games this year, honestly, because I mean the ball is really on their court. What they want to do with that pick. I mean, I know we're not talking about the Raiders right now, but Malik Neighbors next to Zachary Blanche. Mm,
What's up, guys?
I mean,
Sorry about
hey,
that. I'm back.
it's really up to them. But I mean, we
exactly.
look at the we look at the Patriots. I mean, we said all we could say. I mean, they're not in position. If they can get that quarterback, that would basically set their roster, and I think they'll be, maybe within the next season after making that pick, or in that season they'll be competing in that
And
AFC East.
if I was the GM of the Patriots, if I hadn't fired the Patriots coach before, honestly, I would have fired him right now. I mean, you traded a first round pick for Marlon Humphrey, and you're 2-7. You can't even. You're not even in position. You're you don't even have leverage anymore to get one of those quarterbacks. So I mean,
Wait,
that's looking back.
that's what they traded for Marlon?
I believe so. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I think so.
That is bad, bad, bad. All right, well, you guys touch base on the New England Patriots. My whole thing with them is just 85 overall, only 2.24 mil cap. They have way too much cap in 3 players. Deshaun Watson's sitting with 94.71 mil. Humphreys is sitting with 53.23 mil, and that's 2 years left in the contract. The other big one that we see here. Well, that's pretty much it. Those 2 contracts there are holding this team back from doing anything possible. Offensively, defensively, they need the whole world. Can't sugarcoat it. They have no solid offensive line players whatsoever. They're all 27 and up. Defensively, they have some okay key pieces. Judon, 33 years old, making a lot of money. I think it's time to walk away from them. Defensive tackle Tomlinson, another person they got to move away from. 35-year-old Levante David, got to go. Safeties, they got Kyle and Jabril Pepper. Oh no, Jabril still there? I think he got traded.
He is. No, he is. Jabril's still there. I
Yeah,
just checked their roster on Madden.
both of them are 29. They got to get moved. With all those moves that they have, I mean, they got to get valuable draft picks in return. They got to stock up on draft picks and just try to make magic happen. Humphreys, if I was them, that's my number one trade bait. Looking to get a first round pick for him. Try to get back what I gave out. Obviously, he's not going to be a top 15 pick, but a lower 15 advice. I mean, like I said, go after a playoff team. Look at the Jets. Look at the Colts. Look at the Titans. Look at the Bengals. 49ers. Everybody's got a first round pick. Hit them up. They're trying to win a Super Bowl. Humphrey's going to be that person that gets them up to that next level. Obviously, it's going to hurt to lose that type of player. But, I mean, the salary cap's telling you what to do. So, if they hold on to Humphrey after this offseason, they should be fired. Because that's your biggest asset that you have in this team. Move. That can get you nice draft picks or good young players that can fill up three spots if done right. And that's my quick synopsis on the Patriots. I know Roscoe is brand new, so it doesn't fall on him. But we'll see if he sticks around with this team or if he decides to venture off. But if I was Roscoe, that would be my main target right now. Start talking to people who wants this player. Hey, this is what I'm looking to get, and then see who bites. Hell, even the Bears might be on that phone call with them. But yeah, that'll conclude the episode that we have for the AFC East. The NFC East was supposed to get done today, but we're already 2 hours and a half into this, and we don't want to keep it bringing it along. So, Isaiah, Jalen, thank you guys for coming in here and participating with us. Hopefully, we can wrap it up tonight with a late night episode. If you guys are both free, if not, we can continue it tomorrow. But at least we figured out how long it takes, what time to give, what type of research has to get done, so it becomes more speedier as we go with these episodes. But hey, great analyzing by the two of you. That was awesome. Pretty sure a lot of teams out there are gonna be like, "Oh, damn, that's what they said about these guys." I can't wait till they do my team. Come on. And just Isaiah, you got to keep that same line that you have at the start. Well, starting off the season.
Yeah, it might be the new signature line.
That's gonna be the opening line for every one that we do now. Starting off with the season, they had this and this and this and that. Oh shit. But yeah, thank you guys for being here. Thank you guys for listening, for watching. Do me a favor, hit that like button, hit that share button. All that stuff helps promote the video. Once that's done, we get a lot of views. That makes it easier for us to recruit. And as you guys know, we have a second league that just opened up, so we need all the new users as possible we can get. You guys have any closing comments for any of the 4 teams that we just talked about?
Nah, but I want to say that this is a fire idea.
Fire. Yeah, this was pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie. kind of enjoyed it, getting me back into the mix of Madden. But yeah, biggest takeaway: Josh Allen on the block? Question mark. Leave it at that. All right, guys. Thank you for tuning in. We will catch you on the next one.